Good morning everybody and welcome to another week in lockdown and to today's golf drills for the lounge. Today's exercise I'm going to give you is a very simple one, but that doesn't mean it's easy. This one for me is crucial to develop and train very good hand action, which allows you to be able to square the club face up at impact to get rid of those slice shots where the open club face puts that big left to right spin on the ball, but also to do it in such a way where you can still develop power and strike. And lots of people who struggle with slicing is when they then bring their right hand into the golf swing to try and help square the club face up. But then by doing that, they create scoopy actions which can hit fats, thins and miss strikes. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but all of the top players have all got big, strong forearms, and that's because they do use their hands very correctly, and that really does exercise the muscles in the hand and forearm and gets them working very hard. So before we do this exercise, it's absolutely crucial that you have a good left hand grip, and it's worth just rechecking this for yourself because this could really help you to develop and improve your hand action. So the club, when you lay it through your left hand, because the club comes up towards you diagonally when it's sat on the ground, you can see that it crosses through my hand very diagonally. Lots of people grip the club straight across the hand, which is incorrect. So diagonally down through to a point that's just above the pad of the little finger. It mustn't be high up in the palm of the hand here because that completely deadens what the wrist can do. So down there, just above the pad of the little finger and diagonally down into the middle of the index finger, so that when you close your hand, the club is right underneath that back fleshy pad of the left hand to the point where you can let go with the back three fingers and the club stays under that pad. Because it is lower down in the fingers, you mustn't wrap the hand over. By keeping the thumb on top, you can see that that keeps the back of the hand facing the target in a neutral type position. So the two key grip pressure points are underneath this back fleshy pad of the left hand and underneath the middle knuckle of the left forearm. And that's the point that I feel are the two pivot points for the wrist as the club rotates with the hand. So in one of our earlier drills, we did a lot of practice to make sure that the wrist hinges correctly and goes in this vertical direction combined with turn, never bowing behind you. So once you've done that, that creates that right angle between your left arm and club. Now the trouble is that you're not going to do this in a flowing golf swing if when you just pull through you use your shoulder and then you come through and the club face would remain open and you start to get big pushes to the right or push slices way off to the right. So if you've done some great work training this vertical wrist hinge, you've now got to do some really good work to train the hand and forearm with having retained more of an angle between your left arm and club and got into this powerful late hit position that you see so many of the great players in. You've now got to be able to square the club up into the ball. So just by going from this position here down to stop at impact, feeling that the club face and the back of the hand are at the target, there to there, and that's going to really exercise these muscles and work them hard. If you find it's really difficult at first, try and get through the first few. Feel it's probably more of a stretch as well as a strengthening thing, and set yourself a target of doing maybe 3 sets of 8, then up it to 3 sets of 10 next week, 3 sets of 12. See how much you can feel the club is under the back pad of the left hand, under the middle knuckle of the left thumb there, and then driving down, but making sure at impact that the club face is not in an open position. If you can start to do that from here to here, you can then go a little bit further and you could start to release through to this sort of position here. If you start to do this one, do not let the shaft of the club go higher than parallel to the ground, because what we're trying to do with this drill is to train the hand and to square the club face up. And what you don't want is a high finish that's coming from your shoulder. So it's just the hand working the club face. And then if I do it towards you, again, if you use your shoulder, you see how that club face is incorrectly up at the sky. But if you get it to impact square and it naturally rotates over, you can see you very much finish with the leading edge of the club back up at the sky. So it's rotating through 180 degrees from here to impact to here. But it's not flicky, look. You're powerfully over the ball at impact and then it's releasing through. So have a tinker with that in your lounge. I think you're going to get some real burning feelings in the hand and forearm. See if you can develop these two grip pressure points under the back pad and under the thumb. And this is really going to train you to be able to get your hand squaring the club face up with a more aggressive attack at the ball, so that you can get more power, more compression, late hit, but still manage to square the club face up and get rid of that weak one fading off to the right. So give it a go and I'll see you tomorrow.